got to. We got to.
What's going on, people? It's the Xbot 448, and today I want to give you guys my thoughts about Project Scorpio. For people who don't know, Digital Foundry came out, Eurogamer came out with articles and videos basically detailing the specs and the performance of this new piece of hardware that we still call Project Scorpio. That is the code name. I'm not sure exactly, what the name will be, and there's a lot of debate on social media, Twitter, and stuff like that on what the name of this new Xbox is going to be. But first things first, I gotta say, kudos to the development team on this piece of hardware. They worked absolute miracles, and it just shows what kind of geniuses they have on the hardware side to Microsoft, which I feel gets kind of overlooked a lot of the times. A lot of people say, well, Microsoft is a software company, this, that, or whatever, and to see them go in and really, put out an incredible piece of hardware that looks like it's overperforming for the components that they used, the components that they modified to make this thing. I mean, just look at like the Surface Book, like the whole Surface team and what they do with hardware, and I think that Microsoft is completely underappreciated when it comes to hardware development. But with that being said, you have the modified Jaguar cores, which they're just calling x86 because I guess they went in and did so much to the CPU in terms of modification and stuff like that. You have Polaris architecture in the GPU, the absolute genius of putting DirectX 12 into the hardware in between the GPU and the CPU. So this way when the CPU puts commands, it goes through that kind of like command module, and it goes from thousands of commands or draws down to like 11, which is absolutely incredible. This thing's going to be able to do native 4K, 60 frames per second, although don't think of that in terms of an open world game, because I still believe open world games are going to be 30 frames per second. All in all, it looks like a beast of a system, all right? I do have one issue, though, and that is with the components being used. And I know, some people are going to love this video, some people are going to hate this video, but I always speak my mind. And the thing is, I think Microsoft kind of dropped the ball here when it comes to future proofing with the Scorpio. Now, granted, it's going to be it's a beast of machine coming out right now. It's going to be powerful and it's going to last over time. But if Sony comes out with a PlayStation 5 in like 2019, 2020, what's to stop them from using the brand new CPU technology, the brand new GPU technology when it comes to Ryzen and Vega? Although maybe at that point in time, if anybody who follows AMD, Vega might be a thing of the past and they might be going what they call Navi. All right, Navi is another GPU architecture that AMD is working on and will release in the next couple years. And the only thing that they have talked about with that GPU is scalability is going to be like its selling point. It's going to be able to scale games up and down like absolutely insane. So when you look at this, now Microsoft had a chance to go with the Ryzen and the Vega. And I know a lot of people were like, well, then they would have had to wait a year, before coming out with the Scorpio and whatnot, and I'm not sure if that's the case. I'm not sure if they know that's the case, to be really honest with you. A lot of people, have their own opinions, their own ideas of why Microsoft went this route with the Scorpio. Now, like I said, I am not like bad-mouthing the Scorpio at all. I think like it's going to be a beast. Like you saw the specs, you saw everything that, you saw the screenshot of the Forza 6 kind of like tech demo running at 4K 60 frames per second, only using 2/3 of the GPU, 4K textures, all that good stuff. So I'm not saying it's not going to, be a monster, but I'm talking about future proofing it to the point where even if the PlayStation 5 comes out and it has that newer AMD Ryzen CPU, even the Vega GPU architecture, because if there's Navi ahead of Vega, and they haven't released Navi yet, that means Vega is going to drop down in price within the next couple of years as well. Um, it's just kind of like tossing back and forth the whole power thing, and I really feel like Microsoft had a chance to kind of take that and throw it out the window and have this Scorpio be the most powerful even when the PS5 comes out. And that would be crazy. You know what I'm saying? That would be something that we would probably never have seen before within the console generation. I mean, all in all, I'm really excited for the Scorpio. Me and O Snaps, it's a day one buy. It is going to be a fantastic machine. It's going to run games at top performance. You're going to get visual um, improvements. And that's not to say that the Xbox One games were chopped liver to begin with, because they weren't. They are absolutely visually stunning games, and they're just going to be that much better now. In terms of like the whole overall native resolution thing, I'm not a native resolution guy. 4K is big because that is a huge jump, and I feel like the TV industry is moving towards 4K at a really really fast rate, and 4K is going to be the norm for TVs in the household. So that's why I think that's important. But in terms of the games, all right, what I look for is the graphical fidelity, is the better textures, the better lighting, the better shadows, and that's what Scorpio is giving me. So that's what I'm excited about. You're not going to see me running around going 4K, 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 native 4K. Oh, what's up with this checkerboard? Native 4K, because in the end, that native resolution I don't really care about. But all in all, the Scorpio is a beast of a machine, and I can't wait till it releases. I know my boy Crap Gamer said that the release date might have leaked and it might come out in November, like really close to Black Friday. That would be insane. Not for anything, but the malls and the stores, they're usually packed for Black Friday. They're going to be packed like 3 times over if that is the case. But guys, this is pretty much my thoughts for now. Like I said, I feel like they kind of dropped the ball with using the older components, but I believe they are absolute geniuses for the amount of performance that they pulled from these things. So the amount of modifications must have been absolutely incredible. And I feel that people don't really give Microsoft, they don't really appreciate them for what they put out there when it comes to hardware development, whether it's a tablet, whether it's a laptop, or whether it's a gaming console. I feel like they have some really, really smart, really creative people, in that division of Microsoft, and they are doing some absolutely amazing things. But guys, as usual, if you like the video, you like the topic, definitely hit up that, that thumbs up button for me. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe. But as for now, this is the Xbot 448, and I am definitely signing off.